Yes. As you might know, I got a new computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's good news and bad news for it. The good news
okay.
is I got a new computer,
Nice.
which means I'll be streaming a little bit when I get all set up. The bad news is I don't have Word on this computer yet, meaning I lost the document that I wrote to you, so I cannot remember if I recommended you to work on trading, poking, and engaging.
I can. Oh, you want me to send you the document back? I mean, I can.
Yeah, but I cannot see it if it's in a Word
Ah,
document.
true, true, true. No, it's a PDF
If
file.
it's a PDF, I can read it. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I can, I can. I'm sending
Because
it.
I don't have access anymore. I need to get Word so I get all the files that I'm writing all the time.
This is the one you sent me.
Nice. Okay. And then you wanted to talk about classifying champions under power,
Yep.
trading, poking, and engaging.
Yeah.
Power spikes and botlane and how to abuse/use them.
Yeah.
Yes, and it all comes together. So what I'm thinking about is first of all to talk about what's happening with classifying the champions and their power, which
Okay.
is the bigger level. And after that, we'll talk about power spikes specifically in the bot lane,
Okay.
and then we'll talk a little bit about trading and poking as well.
Okay. Fine with me.
Does that sound awesome?
Yep.
Nice, good. Yes, I got the document as well.
Oh, nice.
I made so many. It's really hard to remember who I did what for. Yeah, you didn't get the trading. You did get the trading and poking.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah. Okay, that was what I was worried about. Because then you probably have seen the video on YouTube.
Yeah, I did. I did. I saw
Okay.
it.
Okay. So we'll probably just be talking from that because there's no reason for me
Okay.
to explain the same things that you already know from the
Yeah,
video.
true, true.
Okay. Because I've prepared for the last 2 hours or something for this lesson,
Oh, wow.
so I'm pretty okay for now. Because first of all, we are gonna, as I talked about, classifying the different champions and the power. And I divided all the champions into different categories.
Okay.
Because of course I could list all the champions there is, but it's better for you to get a general understanding, in my opinion, and then work from that. So if you have the entire champion pool from Riot,
Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
who would you divide the champions into? In what groups?
I don't know. It depends. The first thing which comes to mind is, I guess, when you play the game, like the roles there, like mage and support, and I don't know if that's wrong or right.
It could be a way to categorize them.
Okay.
I used Riot's own, but called them something else. When you go on champions, you can see primary role.
Yeah, primary role. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like you can classify them like that, but I don't know if
Yeah.
there's any other.
That is a really good way to do it.
Okay.
And yeah, that's probably why Riot did it. So you can see who is assassins, who's fighters.
Yeah, fighter, mage. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is a really good way to classify them. And see how are they working. What is a fighter? I call them bruiser. They call them fighter. They call them it's different names. They call them marksman now. I call them AD carry still. So
yeah.
But it's the exact same thing. So if we walk through it, all the fighters that they call bruisers.
Okay.
Yeah. If you look at those guys, you'll see that they are mainly junglers and top laners, right?
Yeah, true.
Yes. So that is why we have a bigger category, because they appear in both top and jungle. Yes, that means.
Yep.
But what can they do? What is the general for those types? What do you see from those types of champions? What do they have in common?
Well, it depends. Actually, again, like I don't know, like when you look at them, some of them are like, still I categorize them like as tanks. Some of them are not, but which is, I don't know, wrong probably, but
Who would you categorize as a tank?
Well, depends of a champion. I don't know, maybe Nasus or somebody. Mundo is also a fighter, but he can be tanky.
They are not directly tanks. No, they are off tanks.
Yeah, that's also true.
That means they're not fully building tanky.
Yeah, but they can go tanky. That's true.
Exactly. But they need kind of some tanky items to actually do their job.
True that.
So that is what I call an off tank. So not a directly tank like a Malphite.
Oh yeah, true.
But they still build enough tanky items so they'll be like that big heavy wall that you cannot cross.
Yeah.
So if you look at the champions, I would say they are mainly melee.
Oh yeah, true that as well.
Yeah.
Ignore that.
Of course, Kale can have a spell that is ranged. Jace can be ranged as well.
Yeah.
But they are mainly melee, which is a huge thing. They are all building pretty tanky, so they are pretty much all of them off tanks.
Yep.
Of course, you can build them in different directions and stuff, but in general, they are kind of off tanks. And I don't like Diana and Yasuo in this category. I don't know why Riot put them in there. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list now as well and wonder the same actually.
But in general, what they are gonna do when it comes to mid-late game, because you are not handling top/junglers really in laning phase. Of course, if they are junglers, they come and visit you once in a while, either if it's your jungler or the enemy jungler, but you don't really have to deal with them unless they are camping your bot lane. So you'll see them in mid-late game.
And we all loved it.
Yeah. So you'll see them in mid-late game, right?
Yeah.
And tell me if you don't agree. We're trying to figure something out here.
No, I agree up till now with everything. No problem.
So how are they gonna do this team fighting potential? Because it's all in mid-late game. It all ends up in team fights. Either you team fight at turrets, at drakes, at barons, or at when you meet each other in jungle or something. It's all about fighting each other, pretty much.
Yeah, true.
In mid-late game. So how are those champions that you see here actually fighting?
Well, in a melee way again, but they're annoying as well.
The general rule for those types of champions that you see here, because they are off tanks, meaning they can take some damage.
Yeah, but they can also deal damage.
But they can also deal damage, so you cannot ignore them, because they are dealing so much damage that you cannot ignore them compared to the Malphite that we spoke about. He's dealing absolutely no damage, so you can just ignore that champion. But if you ignore like the Jax or something, you are gonna get wrecked by him.
That's true.
But they are still tanky enough that you cannot blow them up right away.
Yeah.
So the bruisers/fighters, whatever you wanna call them, they will mainly jump into the fight and try to be on your carries, either the mid or AD carry.
Yeah.
Depending on who is reachable and who is the most fat one, that's one they will jump on and try to kill them, because they can take a lot of their damage, and they have a lot of damage themselves, so they will try to get them down, because those two are really, really squishy, mid and AD carries.
Yeah, that's true.
So that is what their job is, and there's a good reason for some of them that they will try to flank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Hecarim that you can see.
Yeah, on the list.
And the Lee Sin and Gragas can do it. They can all do it pretty much, because they are, as we spoke about, off tanks, so they can deal. They can take some of the damage. So you should be careful about them jumping into your carries and kill them as a support player, and you should be worried about them flanking you.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Yep.
So that is what you can see in loading screen. Then you'll find, okay, who do they have any bruisers? If you see, yes, they have a bruiser. Who is the bruiser? It might be the Riven, let's just say that. But that's the only bruiser they have. So when it comes to team fighting and I meet the Riven, I'll try to ward up, because she can flank. And I'll try to protect my carries the best I can, because she'll try to get to them.
Yeah.
So that is something you should really think about when it comes to classifying the champions, and you can do that already in champion select / loading screen, and really take the time to do so, because you'll make up a strategy in your head how to team fight. It's just a general strategy because all team fights are different, but a Riven will still remain a Riven, and she will try to get to your carries if she can.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
Yes. If we take, I have made a new category, which is called engagers, because a lot of those fighters and tanks are good engagers, and some support as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So all that can engage from a longer distance. That means the Hecarim that we saw was one of them.
Okay.
And Gragas can from a huge distance as well. Rek'Sai from the Drusus, and from the supports we got the Leona. How she's on the tanks. Leona, Malphite, Nautilus, Blitzcrank can as well. Sejuani is really good as well from a safe distance. Just jump in. Zac, Sion. You know, all the kind of champions that have a longer distance in full engage. Because someone like Lee Sin, he can do it, but let's be honest, it's not that big of a range for him. If he has to get all the way behind one carry to kick it back into his team, the Q range isn't that big.
Yeah, that's true, definitely.
Not compared to the Sejuani ultimate, because she can dash. That's the Lee Sin Q range. So... and then she can cast a ranged ultimate. So she got 2 times range from the Lee Sin. So she's a long ranged. Even though Lee Sin can do the same, but he's a low ranged engager.
True. Well, I never thought about it like that. It's so bad.
It's not bad, and it's not magic like we talked about. I'm not saying anything magical. It's just something that we need to get into our heads so we can understand it, and therefore we can do something about it.
Yeah, true.
So all the engagers, what they can do is they can flank, because they are again pretty tanky. All the champs that I mentioned. So what you don't want to do is get them the opportunity to get from the side of you.
Okay.
So you are trying to ward around your team, especially if you just saw maybe Hecarim split pushing bot lane and you are about to fight in the mid lane. That means Hecarim will probably come from the bot lane and into the mid lane. That means you should ward up towards the bot lane.
Yeah, true.
To deny him from the flank. And what is really, really important as well, you should not stand on the same point. Your entire team should never stand on the same point on the map.
That is definitely true, yeah.
You know that, right? Just a Malphite ultimate and 4 of your team pops up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is something we'll try to deny.
Okay.
So when you see the heavy engagers that can do a really, really quick long range engage, because you can always see a Lee Sin tries to engage, but it will be fairly difficult for him compared to the Sejuani. So try to see what you can do as a support player to try to deny them from that. And that is why I'm not going through over all the specific champions, but more the general types. I
get it.
And then you can, of course, because it's not that big of a deal, you can, in loading screen, because you know all the champions, you can tell, okay, I got here an engager and I got a bruiser in the same champion, so I should be worried about my carries and I should be worried about flanking and standing on the same point as my team.
True.
So that is what all this is about.
Okay.
If we go on rights, again, Assassin. I agree, Assassin is a really good name, but I think there's more Assassins than they just mentioned here.
That's true, yeah. The list is really small when I look at it.
It's really, really small. I think there's a lot of more champions, but you probably already know that. For example, the Yasuo I would put in as well, or Syndra as well. So there's a lot of different assassin types, not only these ones, not in my opinion at least. Assassin meaning bursting one champion down, of course not the tanks, bursting one champion down from almost 100% to 0.
Yeah, true.
In a very, very short combo. So it will take maybe 2 seconds, then a target is dead. That is what an assassin can do.
Yeah, that's true.
So how do we play around those shitty assassins as a support player?
You tried to remove them from AD carry again.
Yeah, but what would you do if you see the Rengar, you know, the sign over your head? Rengar is nearby. Yeah, you can do that, but you don't know where he's coming from. And what if your AD carry runs in the opposite direction?
God, no. Seriously, just be thinking about it that way. It's like, please don't do that.
You'll see a lot of AD carries panicking when they see the sign that Rengar is nearby and he has already 10 kills or something. Every AD carry be like, I'm just gonna shit my pants.
It is so true. That's what I'm like talking about. Please don't run away from me.
Yeah, and they are running in the opposite direction and forgetting that supports can actually help them. And you'll be like screaming and all behind the screen like, come back, Lucian, I wanna help you! And the Rengar already killed him.
Yeah, that's true. That happened multiple times.
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about them running away because you can only control your own gameplay.
Yeah.
So what can we do as a support? One thing we can do is, of course, you are playing the same champion pool as me, right?
Yeah, we almost have the same one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna find it. Nami, Fresh, Leona, Lulu, Janna. Okay, Fresh and Leona is they are finally tanky. They can take a Rango. But the other ones, they'll die pretty fast as well. Lulu might have a chance because of her ultimate, but the other ones will die pretty fast if a Rango is really, really fat. Without absolutely nothing to do about it. That's just assassins.
Yep. A really fat assassin.
Yeah, a really fat assassin. Usually they won't go for you, but if they got the chance and you were just there, they'll just do it.
Unfortunately, but yeah, it happens.
So I have found myself in the situation where I have to build Randuins on a Nami because a fit Arango was after me all the time. And that is something situational that I just did because he was going for me and he was trying to get fed on me because I was not able to protect myself. Even my exhaust wasn't enough. So he just popped me insta. So I was building randoms in that situation. So first of all, we need to protect ourselves. That means we should be in a position where they cannot one-shot us. For AD assassins, it's mostly randoms. That is number one because, of course, you could build a Frozen Heart because it gives armor as well, but it doesn't give you the HP. And you actually need both to say fuck off to them.
Okay.
Then you'll be tanky enough together with all the CC that you have from the champion pool to be able to peel them off. You just need to survive their initial engage.
Oh yeah, true.
Then you can peel them off. And that is what Rangers is about. Leona and Fresh are tanky enough in their building path and champion, so they can better deal with them. But Nami and Janna and Lulu, I think it was from a champion pool, they will have a harder time dealing with a fat Rango with 12 kills coming for your ass.
True.
And you are gonna ward, and you are gonna be alone as a support, especially in solo queue, because no one gives a fuck about your warding.
That's definitely true.
So you will have to take care of yourself so you don't get one-shotted. And that is building for it because you don't have the champion for it.
Okay.
When you are safe, afterwards you should think about what is assassinating doing. They are picking people off, like me running around in jungle and warding. Or they're trying to pick off a AD carry who's just gonna farm the jungle or something. So you'll try to ward around and stick around so you'll always be two together so you can help each other. And
Yeah.
you're trying to watch for flanks. So again, ward all around where you are, and nobody should go alone, except maybe a Malphite. A Malphite is not really in danger.
True that.
But all the AP mid laners, all the mid laners and AD carries and squishy
Basically, anyone
supports,
squishy, yeah.
yeah, they are just gonna be one-shotted right away. A Riven can easily survive because, again, off tank, so she is okay.
Yeah, true.
So you are gonna ward versus assassins, so you can see before Rengar enters his ult, or you can see LeBlanc standing on the other side of the wall waiting for a victim. And you're trying to build tanky if you're playing a squishy support yourself, so you don't get killed, and they can snowball on you to get even more fed and put you out of the fight with all the CC that you can offer your team, together with your aura items.
Yeah.
Because you're losing all that if you die. So, and you only need to survive the initial burst, then you're good off.
Yeah, that's true.
So randoms versus AD assassins, and Locket versus AP assassins, because you want to protect your team as well.
Yeah, the shield.
Yeah, and also the magic resistance to help your entire team, not only you.
Yeah, true.
You don't have the opportunity for AD aura items. You have the frozen heart, but let's face it, as AD assassins, they are mostly casting the spells, and then you're dead, so they don't need the attack speed anyways. So
yeah, that is true.
And Master Yi, he has from his ultimate already, so he doesn't give a fuck.
Master Yi.
Yeah.
Just like thinking about him, I'm depressed.
Yes. If we go on the next one, that is Mage from Riot. They put on the mages, and that is pretty much all the AP mid laners there is. And some of them moved into the support role, and some of them are more junglers, and yeah, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
As you can see, Elise and Fiddlestick is not someone you see in mid lane anymore.
Yeah, true.
They are more junglers, and Morgana and Karma, and maybe sometimes Asira is something you see more in the support role. And some AP mages are just dead, and some are moved to top lane, and yeah, it's a little bit different from what the original were set up for. Heimerdinger and Swain are more top lane, and Ryze as well. But mainly they'll be mid laning.
Yeah.
So what are mages doing?
Killing AD carry again in most cases.
Yeah, that would be number one if they can kill off the enemy AD carry. But otherwise, they'll try to deal as much damage to
as
your
possible,
team as possible. Exactly. So a 6, for example, he'll try to deal damage to anyone who is standing near to him, and especially those who are clusterfucking, meaning standing on the same point on the map.
Yeah, true.
So he'll try to go for the targets that cannot be separated, like twins or something, that are always running on the same point of the map, because then he gets, with his Q, you know, the bouncing bomb.
Yeah.
He'll hit 2 targets instead of 1, so he'll of course go for them and deal more damage than he would just going for you, maybe, where you are alone.
True.
So what are we gonna do against them? We'll try not to stay on the same point.
Okay.
Again, because we'll want to deny them giving that free AoE damage, and they will deal as much damage as possible. And they are carries, and they are in the back line, so there's not much you can do about it as a support, other than building ACAS. True. Because you cannot get to them. That is usually not the point. You cannot do that. But as we can see here with Ryze things, the Fiddlestick, yeah, he's a mage, no doubt about that. But I will also put him in the engagers, meaning he can flank.
Yeah.
He is usually standing in a bush nearby or on the other side of a wall and just waiting to jump in with his ultimate. Yeah. So that is what you should think about when you see him. That, oh my god, he's so much just gonna they stand somewhere, so we should not be fighting in an area where we have no vision, because that'll just turn into their favor, because we fiddlestick ultimate and he will run in and fear one target and shut it down immediately.
Yeah, true.
So ward again. That is what we can do as a support player. And if we look at the Kennen is a mage as well. He's in top lane mainly at the moment. And he'll just be running in with his super speed and his ultimate.
And ulting probably.
Yeah, and then just Sonya's in the middle of your team.
Yeah.
So he'll be flanking. So he's one of the engagers as well. So you again, ward.
Yep.
So as you can see, I like the engagers as a category because there's a lot. Because you'll never see a Seraph, for example. He will never engage. He cannot start an engage.
Yeah, that's true.
But he'll deal so much AoE damage, and he will be able to shut down the AD carry if he gets his stun off him.
True.
By just comboing him to death.
Yeah, I saw that multiple times, unfortunately.
Yeah. So now we got the next right category is marksman. AD carry.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah. The sweet little chickens that are just running around and we have to protect them no matter what they do.
Yeah.
So what are they doing for the team?
Well, they're usually bitching all the time. No, but aside from that, they deal like damage. Well, the most damage, I guess, aside from mages.
They are dealing the most consistent damage.
Yeah.
They're not mainly AP will deal more damage than the AD carry because they can hit multiple targets, which AD carries normally cannot. But AD carries are not depending on huge cooldowns. They will always deal damage.
Yeah, that is true.
Where a mage, if you have a Syndra, for example, when she has her ultimate on cooldown, she's not that useful anymore. While a Jinx, for example, she's just keep hammering damage all the time. So usually what they'll do in a team fight is they'll deal damage to the target that is near them.
Yep.
Because they cannot walk through the entire enemy team and expect to survive because they got the bruises in their head. The fighters, as we spoke about, so they cannot just ignore the Aurelia and go straight towards the,
their backline. Yeah, I get it.
So they'll have to deal with whatever is standing on them right now, and that is what you should help them with.
Yeah,
because they are dealing the most consistent damage in the entire fight, unless they of course are running like a girl like me when I play the carry.
Yeah, I on the other hand don't run, but I run into them, which is even worse in my opinion.
I'm running into my base and standing there like and staring. Yeah, you're doing great, guys. I'll think about you over here.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah. So I'm a horrible AD carry.
No, like I position wrong completely, but
I can also attack, the orb walking and stuff like that. Attack, move, and stuff like that. But when Aurelia is coming to kill me, I cannot definitely not do that anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll be so stressed and I'll be screaming and running and I'll definitely not auto-attack anymore.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just be running and when she's chosen another target, I'll come back.
Yeah, I think most of the people will do that.
Yeah, that is a bad AD carry, unfortunately, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, if you don't play the role, then yeah.
But yes, so AD carries are just shooting at the targets that are nearest to them, because they have to deal with that first, and they can shred tanks and off tanks pretty fast, so
yeah,
they're actually good off with doing so. They just need the time, and that is what you try to buy them with as a support player.
True.
Buy them time so they can kill that one, so they can go up to their carries from the enemy team and kill them.
Yeah.
And they are really good for pushing. So when you want a team fight, if you have the options, you of course want to have a carry that survived the team fight. But if you have to choose against having a what can I come up with, a Ari, or you could have a Jinx. on your side.
I prefer Jinx.
You prefer Jinx because she can push really hard and she can take
Yeah.
objectives as well. If you maybe it's an early team fight, you just finished laning phase, it'll be better to just take a turret, maybe a Drake, and Jinx is just better for that compared to an Ahri.
Yeah, true.
So you want to keep the AD carry alive because when you won the fight, maybe the Jinx has to recall, but you'll still have her on your team.
Yeah, true.
Compared to the Ahri. When Ahri has taken down the enemy AD carry, she has done her job. She's not really worth anything anymore.
Yeah.
Until she has her ultimate back up. Of course, she's not useless, but she's not that useful anymore.
Yep.
And supports, the other one, the last category. Not the last one, the second last one. Supports, which we play. Yay!
Yeah.
What are we?
God, you're everything in this, in my opinion. Literally.
We are the playmakers and we are the peelers.
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, that is what we do. And we are like the nervous mother or something that is always afraid that some of our team is getting picked off or tried to get killed somewhere stupid, and then we'll stand in a fight and we do not have our carries anymore. So that is why we ward all the time, so we can tell our top laner to back off because there's 4 people on his way now.
Yeah.
And we can only know that when we have it all warded.
Yep.
So that is what we're doing. The peeling and playmaking, depending on what you're doing. Fresh is, of course, he can do both. He can do both. He can be a playmaker and he can be a peeler. Where Janna, she can only peel. She's not really a playmaker.
Yeah, that is true.
Leona, she's mainly a playmaker. She's not that good compared to a Fresh in peeling or Janna. Janna, Lulu, and Nami are your queens of peeling. Where Fresh, he is both, and Leona is mainly a playmaker.
Yeah.
So that is also something you should think about, and also what you are up against. Because if you are the little Nami and you are versus a big Leona, you know that you are better at peeling, but she is better at locking targets down.
True.
But you can kite for ages, so if you can just keep her off you, you'll be really, really good off.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Because you can kite her for ages, and if she misses a sea knife blade, there's absolutely nothing she can do. Then she can just look at you and walk back in shame.
Yeah, true that.
Yes, and since you are a Leona player, you have probably done that as well.
Unfortunately, multiple times.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck did I miss that?
And that is just something that happens. We all miss skill shots.
Yeah, I know, but it's still like, it was so close. So like, why you run away? It would hit.
Yeah. Then we got the tanks, which is Riot's last category. Tanks.
Yeah.
Which are surprise tanks. And they are what are common for those champions?
I guess in teamfights, like what, they soak up almost the most damage. I guess they're frontline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, what else do they do? Well, they do protect the team, but it can also engage at the same time.
Exactly. So if I had to make it a little bit short, I would say the tanks are doing little to almost no damage.
Yeah.
But they have so much CC. They are CC bombs, pretty much.
Yeah.
So you don't want to... You can ignore them when they don't have the CC. But if they have the CC, you'll not be able to ignore them anymore.
True.
Because a Leona who has burned everything she has sees absolutely no threat anymore.
Yeah.
Same counts for Malphite. Cho'Gath, for an example, as you can see here, he is building a Rora, a Rod of Ages.
Yeah, I know.
So he'll do more damage, so you cannot completely ignore him. That's the same counts for Maokai. So they will try to build one damage item, and the rest will be mainly tanky items.
Yeah.
So you will not be able to ignore them completely. So, but they are dealing little to no damage still, because Cho'Gath damage compared to a Ari or a Jinx or a Riven or something is nothing.
True that.
So, yes, they are CC bombs, and they'll try to make the engagers. They are mainly engagers themselves. As you can see, all of them are good at engaging, but Shen, really low engage range.
Yeah, true.
Again, as we spoke about, Zac, huge engage range.
Yeah.
So again, you have to look at that is the undergroups that I want to pick out for you. You have to not only look at that what types they are, but also how good they are at it. Because Leona has a longer engage than a Shen, so she will be stronger in engaging. She has the same potential as the Shen, but Leona can just do it from a further distance.
True.
Which makes her a stronger champion in general. But what the Shen is good for compared to the Leona is he can split push, because he has the ultimate that can put him straight back to the team.
Yeah, TP, the shield one. Yeah.
So that is his strength. He can split push. You will never see a Leona split push, and if you do, she's doing it really wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
It makes no sense to put a Leona up for split push.
Yep.
So yes, let me send you the list that I wrote.
Okay.
Because when you're done with that, there is something else you need to check up on as well. Because now you got that. As we spoke about, how good are they at it? And you should look at the early... Yeah, I spelled it right. Mid, late game champs. Because it does matter if you don't need to know the specific power spikes for them all. But you know, for Fiddlestick, he really wants his Sonias.
Yeah.
So you'll know that Sonia's is a pretty expensive items, and he needs some jungle items first before he can build it, so he'll be good in mid game.
Yeah.
If you see, let's find a jungler, a Rek'Sai, for example. She is having so high base damage, so she is really good in early game. She doesn't really need many items to be a huge threat, because she has a high base damage.
True.
Late game champions, you know, Nasus has to stack before he's really useful. So
yeah, that is so true.
Yeah, so he will be really dangerous and horrifying in late game.
Yeah.
So that is something you need to think as well, because if you can see, okay, they are full late game in this enemy team, that means we just have to push on to see if we can win early, because if we get to late game, we are screwed.
Yeah, true.
If we are only early gamers, then we should just press and push to get this game ended as soon as we can. That should be your goal. And again, how good are they at it? How long is their engage? How much damage does the bruisers make? Because there are some differences. How much damage does a Nasus do compared to a Riven? Yeah, it comes down to when in the game, because Riven is dealing more damage in the early game than a Nasus, but Nasus is definitely dealing crap load of damage in the late game.
True that.
So yeah, that is a lot of questions you can ask yourself already in loading screen / champion select.
Yeah.
And that is actually something I would like you to work on if you got the opportunity for it. To just sit down in the loading screen / champion select, when you can see, of course, it has to be draft pick.
Okay.
So you can see the enemy team, and just be like, okay, first pick has Asir. What is he? He is a mage.
Yeah.
How is he a good mage? How is he working? He is more like a zoning mage. He's zoning and bursting. Yes, okay, I got that. He's really good at that. When is he? Is he early, mid, late game? Yeah, he's actually mid game. He needs some items and he needs some his ultimate to be really useful. Otherwise, he's just a poke champion, and he doesn't have the long range, so he's really bad at being a poke champion.
Yep.
So you'll just break it down for yourself, and that'll be a huge task, and it'll not be easy, but it will.
But it does help, yeah.
It will so highly improve your game knowledge.
Yeah, true.
Because when you get to the point where you don't have to think about it anymore, where I am at the moment, because I only see an Ari and I think immediately, yeah, mage, assassin, good, that is what she's doing. When is she strong? Yeah, she's strong in mid game, good. And she can roam a lot, and she can. So I think all that stuff through. When I see the champion, I don't have to break it down anymore, and that is where I want you to be as well, because it makes a difference. Because if I know that she's assassin, that means she is the flanking / pick out type of champion. So I know that I cannot leave my carries alone on the side. I need to ward up for them, and I need to, every time they want to walk away from me, ping them back to me.
Yeah, that's true.
All the chickens come back to mama, or I'll try to.
Eventually, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and otherwise, if they totally ignore me, and I know I can handle, and maybe I'm Lulu, then will be able to handle the array. So I'll just walk with the stupid AD carry that doesn't listen, but he cannot be picked out. That is just too dangerous for my game, so I'll just walk with him, because she cannot kill me, because I'm tanky enough. Maybe I got the Aegis. So I am safe. Then I look at my AD carry. I can protect him with pull him off, and I can protect him with my ult, and maybe I have exhaust as well. That is enough to shut down the assassin potential that Ari has.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is. And then you have a game plan in your head. You can already hear that I have a game plan, and I'm not even in a game. And that is what you should do. That you have a plan of how things should run off when you get to that mid-late game.
True.
That is a huge step, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still hope that it makes sense, all that I said.
Yeah, it does.
Good. Do we need a short break or something to just
No, not at all.
Okay. Because then I am thinking about the power spikes in bot lane and how to use.
We were talking about that previously.
Yeah.
And like that's why I'm like asking you for help, because on my own it seems like, I don't know, I'm not so sure, about it. So I would rather ask you who know more than make a mistake and think like in the wrong way. So
yeah, that is right. I asked you to make the list of champions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't make the list though, but I did put them in my head. You know, which is
I made a list.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not very happy to just give it to you. So
yeah, of course, you don't have to.
You can of course see it in the video when I'm done with it, but
okay.
But it's because you learn more from actually doing it. You learn by doing
yourself,
instead of just I give you a piece of paper and you'll be like, fine, super. It's much better if you think about it.
True.
Then it really gets into your head, and you'll be so much better at using it probably.
Yeah.
So I can show you a little bit of what I've done. I'm sharing screen on Skype. Tell me when you can see it.
I can.
Nice. So actually I can see here, power spikes in bot lane. Power spikes are determined by levels and items.
True.
I divided into supports and of course the AD carries down here.
Yeah, that's what I was doing as well.
Yeah, of course. Alistair, all the supports, we don't really use items, so we don't have a power spike at items that much. It's not like, holy shit, Alistair got a sidestone, holy fuck, now I gotta watch out. That's not really, of course it helps him, but it's not like, holy fuck, he's strong right now. So for supports, it's more about the levels. As you can see, level, all the way down.
Yeah, true.
With Alistair, just for taking an example, level 2 has a mini power spike because he has his full combo. He has his, I don't know what spells it is. I think it's Q and W, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You know, the run in and smash up.
Yeah.
Good. Just so we're on the same page. Level 3 is a stronger power spike for him because then he has all his spells. As you can see, I wrote a little note for it. And level 6 because she has his ultimate.
Yeah.
Annie, as you can see, level 1 because she has a huger attack range.
True.
And her Q is a huge range and deals crap load of damage because she is an AP support.
Yeah.
And she got power spikes at all her ultimates.
Yeah.
All her ultimates because her ultimate is scaling really, really good. Compared to Alistair, I only put it in once because it's not like level 2 Alistair ultimate. Holy shit, now I'm screwed. Yeah, no.
True.
It is more about the Annie ultimate because she's building more AP since she's AP support. That means it will deal really huge damage. Not, of course, compared to a mid lane Annie, but still it'll deal more damage and be more of a threat compared to an Alistair ultimate.
Yeah.
In level 2 or level 3 ultimates.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is how I broke it down, as you can see here.
Oh yeah,
wrote it all down when I think it is. When it comes to the AD carries, I wrote down the levels, as you can see here for Ashe, for example. Level 1, where she has her volley, which makes her really, really strong. Level 2, where she has her Q.
Yeah.
That makes her a really, really good fighter in the early game. As you can see, early games levels. And level 6, her ultimate. Of course, it's a huge potential to have Ashe ultimate in the bot lane.
Yeah, true.
But AD carries, they can use items, as well as all the other roles. It's just supports that cannot really use the items. So she has a power spike when she reached EE, that means Infinity Edge.
Infinity Edge, yeah.
Yeah, and a seal. Then she has a really, really huge power spike. And of course she'll only get stronger from that. But it's not like... she'll of course be stronger because she's building stronger items. But it's not gonna be a power spike. It's not like, holy shit, anymore. It's just like, shit, she hurts.
Yeah.
There is a difference. And that is what I divided all the different supports and
I
carries.
can see any carries, yeah.
So that is how I've done it, and wrote a little bit note to just tell myself.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I should do that as well, actually, instead of keeping it to my head.
Yeah, it is better to get it on paper so you can you remember it. I was like doing half of the 80 carries, then I had to ask my ex-boyfriend, he surprise visited me. He was knocking at my door yesterday and in the evening, and he's usually living 400 kilometers away from me at the moment. And then he was like, "Hello, do you need a visitor?" And I was like, so surprised. And he got flowers and all stuff, so it was really romantic, but he really took my breath away by that surprise. It was really
I get
insane.
that, yeah.
So yeah, he helped me with the rest of the AD carries because he is maining AD carry.
Oh, I see.
And that is actually how we got together in the first place, because I was the support, he was the AD carry.
Oh, what love.
Yeah. Love. So yeah, he did the rest of the AD carries for me to help them out, because I know some of it, because but I would have put an Ashe, for example, with only Infinity Edge, but he put the seal in as well because he meant that was better. So yeah, but you need in bot lane, of course, to have a really, really good idea, and every time there's a new champion, you can just add it into your list. It'll be so much easier.
Yeah, that is true.
And for all Morgana, for example, usually Morgana is playing utility based, or that's how I play her mainly. So that will be level 6 because of her ultimate, and not the other ultimates. But if you build her AP, all the ultimates will be a power spike for her, since she's original mid laner. That is a good rule to keep in mind. That former mid laners, they are of course, scaling really good with the ultimates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have questions about your list?
No, actually, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna make it, and then I was thinking maybe if I'm gonna have like any kind of questions, or doubts, I can
Yeah.
just message you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should actually make it at least now that I think about it, while it's still fresh in my head.
Yeah, it's really, as you can see, it's really easy, and I wrote it in the order. Of course, I didn't pick every support champion because I think someone like Vel'Koz and Syra doesn't
Yeah, you
belong.
don't see that often.
Yeah, of course they can be played as support, and it works just fine. But you don't see them that often, so I don't want them on my list.
Yeah, true.
So, and AD carries, I didn't take Quinn or Urgot or Teemo in my list as well.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
But yeah, take the ones that are general being played. Even Sona. Sona is maybe not a support that is played that much, but it's really good to just have her in case. And then you can just look it up and see, okay, I have...
Yeah, that's the point. Like, I should write the list so I can check it before the game starts.
Exactly.
To remind myself, yeah.
And then you'll see, like, okay, I'm facing a Janna and the Ashe. Okay, I should be watching out for Ashe at level 1, 2, and 6. And for Janna at level 1, 3, and 6. That means they are both early gamers, early game power spikes.
Yeah.
What am I? Am I a late game scaling bot lane? Maybe I am Vayne and Nautilus, for example.
Yeah.
They are getting a little bit later done, and that is actually when we come back to the trading and poking, because then we are gonna use that information that we know that we are later in our power spikes than the other bot lane. So we are not trying to fight them in level 1 or 2, because they will win.
Yeah, true.
That is what the champions say. So we are just not gonna try. We're just gonna leave it there and wait for our level 3. Because then you are getting strong with Nautilus, just an example.
Yeah.
And from level 6 on, Nautilus has another power spike. And then we look at Vayne. Oh my god, she has one at level 6. What a surprise!
Yeah.
So it means we'll just sit tight in the bot lane, try to farm, and try to get the XP and get the gold. That is our main goal until level 3. Then we can maybe try something, but not really, because we have a really weak AD carry. So we can see if they are stepping totally out of position. And I think we talked about positioning. Yeah, you have.
Yeah, we did.
You have worked about it. Work with it. That means when they are out of position and I'm level 3 Nautilus and I can get the Janna for myself or the Ashe for myself because they are totally out of position. They are not standing according to each other.
Yeah.
Or they're playing
which happens a lot.
One is playing aggressive maybe and one is playing totally defensive in their positioning. That means it'll be really easy to just pick one of them and try to make the engage that Nautilus can. And it'll be easy for Vayne to get the free shots off, which makes her damage the free,
Yeah, I get it. The stacking on the
and that's it. Then you just walk back, and then you made a perfectly good trade. But if you try to do it in level 2, let's just say that because Nautilus has his full combo at level 2, but he actually needs level 3 to be really useful. So when you tried already at level 2, where Ashe and Janna already had their power spikes, and you didn't quite reach it yet, and Vayne is not even close to a power spike yet.
Yeah.
You should, per definition, from theory of course only, lose. It comes up to a lot of other things, but you should in general lose the trade, so it's not even worth trying if you think that, because you are entering a game without knowing how good is your AD carry, how good is the enemy's bot lane, maybe they are doing, you don't know that. So if they are playing really good together and your AD carry is not following you, you are gonna look really stupid.
That's true. That happened multiple times.
Yeah. So that is just what you one of the things that you are gonna work with when you look at when is a good time to engage, because as soon as you hit level 6, the only thing you should be thinking about is the ass ultimate. If she misses it, as you could see in the video I recommended for you as well.
I know.
That is such a huge potential to go in. They want to go in, they just missed the ultimate, and we have a level 6 power spike. They have as well, but we have a stronger power spike than they have at level 6. So again, level 6 is both power spikes for Ashe and Vayne. But if Ashe just blows up her ultimate, she doesn't have the potential, the threat anymore, and Vayne cannot really miss ultimate.
Yeah, true.
And as Nautilus, you cannot either, so it'll be fairly easy. And Janna has to force her ultimate off to try to deny what's happening with your full engage.
Yeah.
So that is in the video I called it condition of the champions as well.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
Condition of the players, I think it was.
Yeah.
And this is the next step, to look at the power spikes from the different champions in the bot lane to see when is a good deal, because Bart, level 1 power spike, if he is versus the Alistar, he'll try to go as much damage he can at level 1.
Yeah, with a Q.
With a Q, exactly, and just with his passive.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe I should write it. Yes. He has so much damage on level 1, and the same counts for Lulu actually, so they are pretty much the same champion in order to power spikes and stuff.
Yeah.
So they will try to go really, really aggressive against that Alistar, who needs level 2, but actually is better off with level 3. So they have level 2, level 1, and level 2, where they can go whatever they want in the lane, if we just keep off the AD carries, of course. If we only look at those two champions, Bart and Alistar. So he will try to make use of that power spike he has already at level 1, and using that Alistar actually needs level 3 to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Next thing he can do, because we try with our aggressive play because he has a mini power spike level 2 where he has his combo, as I mentioned. But what we are trying to do with level 1 aggressive is try to force him to take his heal already in level 2. So he has probably his knock-up and his heal.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have his combo. He has to wait another level to be useful.
True.
So we have another level to work on at level 2 if he fucks up his skilling, because he's forced to. Which gives us another opportunity to play really, really aggressive, and even though he hit level 3, he might be out of mana because he had to heal so much.
Yeah, that is true.
So that is how we are using that kind of stuff and all the knowledge, because I don't know if you know the triangle with poke, engage, and sustain.
No, not really.
Just a sec. Yes. Yes. Oh, that is not a good one. That's too little. Yeah, that we can see. Burst is those kind of champions here. Of course,
I get it.
A little bit different. It's the old one, this one. But bursters, that is usually engage supports or AP supports. Annie belongs here as well, if you had to put her in.
Yeah.
Poke champions, that is something like Lulu and Sona and Karma, you know.
I know.
They can poke, but Sona can also sustain, and Soraka is of course the queen of sustain.
Yeah, heal, yeah.
So this triangle is read this way, that if you are versus burst, you want to poke, because poke beats
burst, yeah.
Yeah, burst beats the poke. That is the other way around, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, really weird at the moment, yeah. Poke is beaten by the sustain. Because if you cannot poke because it gets out to Raka healed all the time, it doesn't really matter that you can hit your Q with your Lulu, because she's just healing it away and you did absolutely no poke. So sustain beats the poke beats the burst beats the sustain. That is that way around. It is that way around, yeah. So sustain beats the poke because they are healing what you just did as damage.
Yeah.
That is why Sona is a good one. She's in between those two. But she's squishy, so it makes up for the potential that she has. And that's why she doesn't get played anymore. But the poke beats the burst. As I talked about with the situation with Bart and Alistar.
Yeah.
Bart can poke early in the early power spikes. Alistar, he can sustain and he can burst because he's an engager. He's not that strong of a burster though. So he is down here, as you can see.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So we are just trying to poke before he can burst, and that is what we're using our knowledge with power spikes to get to. But we are just gonna be really, really careful, because when we are playing aggressively and are fairly squishy, we can get easily killed as well.
Yeah.
And burst beats the sustain, because if you are killing them from 100 to 0 right away, Shuraka will not be able to heal. So
true that.
And that is another thing you can do. As you can see this diagram here, you can put them into this as well.
Yeah,
something
true.
I did as well on my former documents, but I cannot reach at the moment. I'll get it, don't worry. Here's the triangle here.
Yeah, I get it.
So that is what we are gonna work with, and the knowledge that we have from here, together with the power spike, together with the general, because what we talked about with the classifying champions, that's something we use for mid and late game. Power spikes and trading is something we use for bot lane only, laning phase, early game. So as you can see, there's a lot of different factors coming in already that you have to think about. And that is we only talked from the engage and trading and stuff. We only talked about the condition of the player right now.
Okay.
As you can recall from the video, we had the condition of the lane as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The one you sent, Yeah.
So.
God, so much to learn.
There's really, really much to learn. It's not easy, but if you get it under control, and you only need the general idea, as I talked about, you don't need to know how good a burster is right away. That's something you can take up when you feel comfortable with it. For the moment, you can say engage, healers, and
true.
pokes.
That might be easier.
That is an easier triangle to start with, and when you get comfortable with working with this triangle, you can put them into how good are they at ranking, pretty much. How good are they at bursting? How good are they at sustaining? And I think that is what I were working with here in your document when I talked about poke 3 out of 5. And stuff like that, to write it down. And as you can see, poke, sustain, burst. That is the triangle again.
Yeah, but I really didn't check it up on Google. I should have.
That is again something that comes together with your list of champions in the bottom.
Yeah, I will definitely have to work on that now.
And it will really, really help you to make a decision, because looking at how many minions there is in bot lane is really easy. And is there a cannon minion? No, they are not a cannon minion. Okay, yes, there's a cannon minion. They have the cannon minion. Okay, that means it'll deal really much damage. Maybe this is not a good time to engage.
True.
That is the easy part, but the condition of the players and how to play around what they can do, that is the hard part.
Oh, I still have to work on so much.
So this is pretty much your triangle right now. That is the easy triangle you should work with.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes.
Thanks.
Huge link.
No, that doesn't matter.
That is what you should work with right now.
Okay.
the small triangle. Yeah, I know I had explained the big one. Now work first with the little one and.
Yeah, and then add in the details as I progress.
Yes, exactly. And look up the power spikes for the specific game that you are entering in bot lane. And bot lane first. You don't need, as me, to know the first ones that I wrote about. How good are they at it? Are they mid, early, or late game? That's not something you need to know right now, but it'll be really good for you if you could work it up. Or maybe just write it down and just to have it, so you don't need to think about it that much.
Yeah, write it down and read it before the game. That also would definitely help.
Yeah, exactly. And you have the loading screen for it. You're not doing anything in the loading screen anyways. True. So why not just look it up? And you can just look the power spikes and bot lane up for start. And get control of your bot lane. When you feel comfortable with the bot lane, you can work on going down the classifying champions.
Yeah, true.
So baby steps. And if it's too much, we can take it even smaller and say, work with the supports first, then throw in the AD carries.
Yeah.
And then you can look at are they early game, mid lane, mid game or late game champions in the bot lane only. Just look at that. And you can easily see it, because if you see the Misfortune here, level 1, level 3, level 6, compared to a Twitch, for example, level 3, level 6, and 2 items. You can see.
Yeah, I get it.
He is late. It'll be so easy for you to see it, but if you just write it down like this or something, and maybe put a color on it, I cannot do it in this, so I'll just do it like that for now. Oh, I can actually do it. I'm not used to this. So you put a color on it just to
remind myself that. Okay.
And that would be a really, really good way to remind. And if you have the list, you only have to update it when a new champion comes. And it took me 1 hour to make this list for the bot lane. And I of course skipped a couple of champions, as I mentioned.
Yeah, I get it.
And if they get reworked, because Misfortune just got reworked, so I was asking my friend, where is she? She's further down. She just got reworked, but she's actually still working in the same way. But you have to rethink it every time they twerk some champions or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And when a new champion comes, or maybe they redo a complete champion, like Quinn, maybe. That could be a really good one. And then you can, when you get to it, where's my Twitch? I wrote it. Then you can put something like he's a burst as well / assassin. That's what he. Then you can put multiple, what's called stamples on. So it'll be easier for you to just remember what are they doing, because compared to Varus, he is, need the red one, he's a mid game plus poke. That is what he can do.
Yeah, with that Q, true.
Plus utility, because his ultimate is pure utility pretty much.
Yeah.
That is what he is doing. But at Twitch, he's bursting, and that's why I wrote it in caps, because that is, he's so much burst. He does not burst, he's so much burst. So, yeah. And he can assassin. He can 1v1 everyone as soon as he got 2 items.
Yeah.
And Dorns and Boots doesn't count.
Yeah.
Just to get it clear.
Well, I mean, I don't see really that many Twitch players, unfortunately. Oh, but yeah, it's good to keep it inside of head.
Yeah.
What he is. Yeah. I have to work with that base now.
I had it in my head all the time. I just wrote the bot lane down, but when I was doing what I could for climbing, I actually made this list myself. It took me so long, because I, of course, was still learning, so I had to look up multiple guides and what did people write on Reddit and other sites on the internet to see what do they think about that champion? Ask my friends and stuff who played AD carry or different supports than I did, because of course you know your own champions, but you need to know the other ones as well. Not as good as you can play them, but you need to know what they can do and when
Yeah,
they
what
are
they can
able
do,
to.
exactly.
Because I have never ever played Riven, for example, but I know what she can do.
Yeah.
I never looked at a stream where a Riven player was. I never had anything to do with a Riven otherwise than being in a game with her. So I had no idea how to skill a Riven, for example. So I just looked it up and saw, okay, she is really, really strong in the early game, and to see her base damage and stuff like that. Because base damage is what makes a champion early game.
Yeah.
That is it. It is really as simple as that. That means Lucian and Misfortune has a higher base damage compared to the Twitch and the Vayne, which makes completely good sense. You can feel it in the bot lane, but you just need to get it in your head so you can be able to work with it.
True.
Because we all know it is, no, like I said, no magic. We all know that Twitch and Vayne are late game, and we all know that Lucian is an early game AD carry. It's no secret. But we need to be aware of that before we enter the bot lane, because if you are Janna and you are versus, let's say, where's my triangle again? You're versus a poke lane, you're versus Karma and Lucian. That is a poke lane.
Yeah.
You can see it maybe in the champion select. They just picked the bot lane. It's a Karma, it's a Lucian. So what are you going to do?
Well, basically sustain all the time.
You are gonna pick sustainers. Yeah. So you are trying to get from your champion pool the Nami, and you're gonna get runes on her that where there's a crap load of mana regeneration in, so you will be able to do so. So what I didn't tell you was where is my super sustain? Where is it? I cannot find it. Yeah, super sustain. Yes, my super sustain page here is for Nami mainly. When I have to go much healing. Because maybe I have already picked a Nami and I actually wanted to go poke mode, which is something I usually do with this page. But because they picked a poke lane, but the way to beat the poke lane is to build sustain, so I actually need to build for sustain, even though I might like to poke better than I want to sit back and poke
I get it.
Try to bounce it around. So as you can see here, I have 3.7 mana reg per 5 compared to the other one where I have 1.7. So it has so much more, and in this page I would pretty much try to build the Spell Fierce Edge as first item because I want to poke. With this page I want to go for Ancient Coin instead, so I get even more sustain in the bot lane. So again, I'm building for the triangle because Nami can do both. She can build poke, she can build sustain. But in this case versus the Karma and Lucian, you will be better off building for the sustain part.
Yeah, I get it.
Doesn't matter about your AD carry, because AD carries are AD carries and you cannot control their picks. And doesn't matter if you get a Vayne or you get a Misfortune that is also early and Vayne is late. Doesn't matter. You need to try to make up for the big poke that they have brought into the lane, and that is by sustaining.
I get it.
So yes, so we already work with this by picking our champion and our runes and masteries for it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's a whole science, I tell you that. I really want to look at this
I just have to think about it before the game starts. What the fuck?
I was curious about that picture, so I just wanted to check it out.
But it's not bad.
So yes, did you have other questions about anything that we?
No, nothing for now. As I said, I'm gonna work on the list actually now.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, if I have any doubts, I wanted to ask you about something. I might send you question on Skype.
Yeah.
After I'm done with the list, because it would be really good to have a list without mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's but everything else is clear.
Good. Then there's because when you are gonna write me questions, of course you can do that, and I will be happy to answer them like always.
Yeah, or I can simply book a lesson with you. It's easy as that.
Yeah, but try if you're like if you're asking me when is Karma's power spike, for example. Is it level 1 and level 2 maybe? Or when is it? Is it level 6? And and then you, instead of just asking like that, is it level 1 because of her ult plus Q?
Yeah, alt
Is
and
it,
Q, that's true.
is it level 2 because of her ult Q and her shield that she now has level 2? On level 6 because of her ultimate? And I'll say no ultimate for Karma, it doesn't matter. So I can see your thoughts. Why would you pick? Why would you think that way? Because you need to have a reason why you pick those power spikes for a specific champion. And I would love to see why you would think that the power spikes are what they are.
Yeah, as I said, like I can make the list
Yeah.
and then we can decide on the list. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's easy. I can just go on the site as
Yeah.
per usual and.
Because just saying like, when is Janna's power spikes? Yeah. You're actually asking me to do the work for you, and that is not.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
I'm gonna do.
No, that's not the. Yeah, that's not the point.
Nah, it's you who should do the work. I'm just pushing you in the right direction, and I
Yeah, true.
wanted to show you this, but I'm not giving it to you because it'll just be too easy. You'll learn so much more by just sitting down yourself and just like write it down.
Yeah, writing it down.
The
exactly.
slave way. I know it's the slave way, but that is the way you learn the best, and you know it from math probably. You learned how to plus by doing thousands of calculations with plus.
True, yeah.
And you got it already at 100, but you need to do 1,000 anyway. So
yeah.
And now you have absolutely no trouble with plussing.
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm gonna work on the list and then I'll check the site when your schedule is free, and then we can talk when I book a lesson. Easy that. I mean.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Good. If you don't have any questions, I'll stop
yeah, I don't have it.
the recording.